Speak, Lord, I'm listening. Plant your word down deep in me. Speak, Lord, I'm listening. Please show me the way. Speak, Lord, I'm listening. Plant your word down deep in me. Speak, Lord, I'm listening. Please show me the way. Please show me the way.
The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Jesus took Peter, James, and John, his brother, and led him up a high mountain by themselves. As he was transfigured before them, his face shone like the sun, and his clothes became white as light. And behold, Moses and Elijah appeared to them, conversing with him. Then Peter said to Jesus in reply, Lord, it is good that we are here. If you wish, I will make 3 tents here, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah. While he was still speaking, behold, a bright cloud cast a shadow over them. Then from the cloud came a voice that said, This is my beloved Son, with whom I am well pleased. Listen to him. When the disciples heard this, they fell prostrate and were very much afraid. But Jesus came and touched them, saying, Rise, and do not be afraid. And when the disciples raised their eyes, they saw no one else but Jesus alone. As they were coming down from the mountain, Jesus charged them, Do not tell the vision to anyone until the Son of Man has been raised from the dead. The Gospel of the Lord. Morning. Every time I see people smiling, and that is the reflection of Christ's transfiguration in you. Transfiguration. So Jesus presented himself to the apostles, a foretaste of his glory. Because if you remember, Jesus was telling the apostles that time will come that he will die, and the third day he will rise. But the apostles cannot accept it. How can a Messiah who gives sight to the blind, who raised the dead back to life, who cleansed the lepers, will die, will undergo suffering, die on the cross? They cannot accept it. That's why Peter was told, Get behind me, Satan. Because he rebuked Jesus. Don't say that, Lord. These things will not happen to you. But here, at this moment, at Mount Tabor, Jesus presented to him his glory. The presence of Moses and Elijah represent just that Jesus is the new lawgiver and a prophet. But let's not talk about so much on Jesus' transfiguration. Let us talk about what God reveals to the world through his apostles about who Jesus is. This is my beloved Son. in whom I am well pleased. Listen to him. That's the catching word. Listen to him. Because we too can be transfigured. And how? Transfiguration comes from this what we call transformation. And this transformation, this inner transformation, comes from what we call conversion. And in Greek, it is called metanoia, the radical change of heart and mind. For the Muslim, it is called Jihad al-Akbar, the greater war, a war against the desire of the flesh. Transformation, that we will be converted in order to be internally transformed. And that transformation will make us transfigured. If you are, when you wake up in the morning and you feel happy and something beautiful happening inside you, what people will see? You are joyful. Your eyes, as it says, is the windows of your soul. People can see your transfiguration through your eyes. He can see what is in your heart. And we can only be converted if we listen to Jesus. That Jesus is telling us who we are. That we are special. That we are somebody worthy of His blood. See? A student asked a holy man, "My Lord, please help me to find God." And this holy man said, "No, you cannot find Him." "Why, my Lord?" "You cannot teach, and you cannot teach a fish where the ocean is, because the fish is already in the ocean. It is you yourself to discover that you are already in God and with God. Why need to find it somewhere?" If we realize that, that is beautiful. If we realize that we are already in the realm of God, then there is that transfiguration. Because we listen, that leads us to be converted. And that conversion will transform us internally. And that transformation will be reflected in your figure. That is what we call transfiguration. People nowadays spending thousands of dollars in order to look beautiful. Right? Buying all those sinchanchu or whatever things that make you white, that make you beautiful. You don't have to spend money in order to make you beautiful, because beauty comes from within. You don't have to spend a lot of things. Just discover your inner beauty. And that is the glory of God in you. You don't have to spend hours and hours before the mirror. Like that. What happened to you? See? Even though how much you spend, you cannot be beautiful because you just think you are beautiful. You wanted to look beautiful, but for the eyes of the others, you are not. Because even though you have just that normal face of yours, but your inner beauty comes out, people will just see you. What a beautiful person he is. There is that what we call X factor in you, right? Even though how long you are with that person, but his inner life is in trouble, you cannot be in good vibes with him. But even though you just met that person, you can see the glow of his eyes that this person is a man or a woman of God. You are that person when you start smiling, because smiles is contagious. Once you smile, you let others smile. You let others transform because they saw in you the beauty of your heart. You are the glory of God. Once we experience that deeper sense of being with God. Don't find God somewhere else. You are in God and with God. Amen. All rise.